Well, hello, everybody. This is Cliff Matthews, the proud pastor of St. Luke Missionary Baptist Church. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. We have back, by popular demand, Dr. Tabor. Dr. Tabor, welcome to In the Know. All of that is available, right?
Right.
How do you think, what is it that we have to do to get more engagement, buy-in from shareholders, stakeholders in the neighborhood?
All right. If you have it on a flyer, send that to me
Yes.
because okay. Now you hit the nail on the head. We were able to help two families qualify for a home,
Mm-hmm.
and we stress that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We have had speakers at St. Luke when we talked about the affordability, home affordability.
Mm-hmm.
There is Charlotte, Charlotte Housing.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Dream Key Partners,
right. Dream Key Partners.
and they'll be there this week. Yeah.
Okay, and again, we help two people qualify. But
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, and I qualified, I was able to get $50,000 off of the top of my mortgage,
Mm.
just in time.
Yeah.
The thing is, you can stack it now. I can only get 50,000, but you can get up to 80,000 plus if we get together. Uh, let the Dream Key partners look at your finances.
Mm-hmm.
They can help you get into those homes, but we have to trust these individuals. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, these are professional people that know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to have a little bit of faith in them to help you get what you need. And I think
Mm.
we have a time trusting our own people.
Mm-hmm.
We do.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
true. We have a time. I'm not going to use this information against you.
Mm-hmm.
They're hitting
Mm-hmm.
calls anyway. We can't.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So the thing is, trying to educate our people, trying to make them aware
Mm.
of what they qualify for.
Say
So,
that. Say that. So one of the things that I want to, if you know our parking lot across the street at St. Luke,
right.
uh, painted on the parking lot in stencil is the phrase "God can,"
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
And part of what that was about was we needed to raise those monies years ago to
Hmm.
get the parking lot refinished, paid, and refinished, right? Because
Right.
it was just gravel, and the church thought, "How are we going to raise that money?" And
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
thing is, there was this legacy in some ways of low expectation
Sure.
that because we tried before and can and we haven't this and don't have that, and just begin to tell folk that God can, and believe it or not, in
Yeah.
no time the
Hmm.
congregation raised the money to get the parking lot redone.
That's
Now
right.
what's my point? I think sometimes, Dr. Tabor, what, and I'm saying this from a social worker perspective as well, a therapist, pastor, I'm saying this from that perspective. Sometimes when people have experienced so much disappointment,
Hmm.
it is so difficult for them to position themselves in a frame of possibility
Absolutely.
so that they think automatically, well, we can't get that. I don't have this, I don't have that. But in the reality, you probably have more than you think, but you
Yeah.
just got to sit down,
Yes.
talk with somebody, work through a process, and you
Yes.
can find out you qualified, like you said, for maybe upwards to $80,000
Absolutely.
off, which makes a huge impact, not
Sure.
only on your ability to secure the property,
Mhm.
but also your ability to have payments that are lower. Talk about that.
So, for instance, you just said if they qualify for $80,000,
Hmm.
they go out and purchase a home for 380.
Hmm.
$80,000 is knocked right off the top, and this is $80,000 they will never ever have to pay back as long as they
Yeah.
keep that house 10 years.
Yeah.
They never have
Yeah.
to pay back.
Hmm.
So you tell me, is it more affordable to go in a house and pay a full $385,000 mortgage, or is it easier to pay an 80,000? I mean 300,000.
Mhm, mhm, mhm,
Mhm.
mhm.
Like that.
Yeah. So part of this is going to require us to put our heads together and to continue to just support the neighborhood. You know, everything isn't bad in the neighborhood. It is changing.
Yes, sir.
Camp North End is a major draw.
Sure.
We are right next to the Music Center, or
Mhm.
the North Carolina Music
Mhm.
Center, or the Music Park.
Right.
There's so much happening, and it's not all bad, but it's definitely changing. And I know for St. Luke, we are asking the question with our members and community members also, what is our role going forward? It was very clear what our role was in this iteration of Druid Hills. And we're finding out it's still the same,
Mhm.
but it's going to require us to think outside the box and
Yeah.
recognize that who we're now reaching or who we're coming in contact with
Mhm.
is a different group.
Yeah.
But we're still the same St. Luke.
Yeah. Well, let me just throw this out also.
Hmm.
Um, as you know, we do a variety of things here.
Hmm.
I happened to talk to the local historic landmark,
Hmm.
and they didn't know that there's a riding stable here.
Yes,
It's been here over 50 years.
50 years.
He was absolutely shocked when he came out.
Yes.
Now, the Big M stable is going on the local historical landmark. Okay, we need two more things to do. The
Hmm.
property situation we have to find out.
Hmm.
That means that there's money there that we can write grants to beautify the place,
Hmm.
make it really a first class riding stable,
Which is important
which is important.
because it maintains some of the neighborhood
Yes,
character, but
yes,
it also provides, and this is again from a therapeutic standpoint,
mhm,
those services providing horseback riding lessons
sir.
to children who
Yes,
come from context of intergenerational trauma.
yes,
That activity is linked to increased performance in school,
hmm, hmm,
increased self-awareness, self-esteem, right? And
hmm,
so all of that, while it seems like it's just a property thing, no, no, no. It is changing the trajectory not only of that business, but
yes,
the entire neighborhood. And
yes.
that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
And the other thing, the park is developing now. Hopefully, that'll be
Yes.
open in
Yes.
June.
Yes.
And we want family engaged, but
Yes.
engaged in a positive manner. We don't want all drugs and stuff out there and all this carrying on.
Hmm.
We have a facility for a movie. We can do our movie night
Hmm. Hmm.
yards. A walking trail is
Hmm.
community oriented.
Hmm.
Come out, don't damage, talk to your children.
Hmm.
There's so much vandalism and that type thing going on.
Hmm.
And cracking down on that, and they're making the parents responsible for it, which they should.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's Dr. Tabor. It's complicated. It is complicated, and when you start talking about youth violence,
Mm-hmm.
um, and how that youth violence, at least in Charlotte, Mecklenburg, is disproportionately linked to youth of color,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It is a complicated thing, and I'm not diminishing it. I'm not diminishing that there needs to be more accountability and more responsibility taken by those who have care of children for their well-being. It's complicated, and one of the things, it's not what we're talking about, but one of the awful realities that we need to confront is that for uh, we don't talk about it enough, but
Right.
we do need to be clear that solving that problem requires a lot of intersecting work, especially when it comes to local, state, but primarily federal
Yeah.
laws
Mm-hmm.
that relate to weapon possession, right?
Yeah.
Um, because one thing we got to be clear about is developing brains, youth who are 13 and 14, with still frontal lobe development, where
Yes.
there is still this undeveloped
Mm-hmm.
synaptic response.
Mm-hmm.
There is a sense that in our day we didn't have access to weapons, so we just fought, and we talked about somebody's mama, We talked about somebody's outfit. We duked it out. We went home. The next day, we buddies,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes, sir.
Because that's what we did. Now there is none of that because now 13 and 14-year-olds
Yep.
can take allowance money and buy a weapon.
Yes, sir.
They have no idea of so much of the consequence. The consequence framing cognitively that develops. It takes time to get that right, and
Right.
so you often have these youth doing things and it's not to dismiss it, it's not to dismiss the pain of parents who have suffered from youth violence, it's not to say that, but it is to say it's complicated and we need to have Druid Hills Neighborhood Association, North Druid Hills, St. Luke,
Mm-hmm.
anybody else in that neighborhood to
Mm-hmm.
really begin to work together as we're doing
Mm-hmm.
in partnership to address that real need because it's complicated. It's like a Facebook status. It's
Mm-hmm.
complicated. It's not as easy as make them go to school. It's not that easy as parents make sure your children. It's more complicated now,
It is.
and we need to look at a multifaceted approach to address these problems so that we are helping our neighborhood be better, but
Mm-hmm.
also helping our youth have a future. No, as you know, I used to work, do mental health work in the local jail, and
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that you don't see is you see the picture of this child, 18-year-old,
Mm-hmm.
who's been accused of some serious crime.
Mm-hmm.
You see them, going in. You see a mugshot, but what the community doesn't see is after the mugshot,
Right.
they're in the local jail
Yes, sir.
and they're trying to understand what did I do?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How did I do that?
Right.
Why did I do that? What was and they're troubled because they're trying to understand what caused me
Mm-hmm.
because they're not they're not an errant that they're not here just to be antisocial individuals
Right.
who don't value community. There is a real sense that this is a legacy issue. This
Mm-hmm.
is a pattern. This is something that requires a whole lot of work because the children on the back end, again, what we don't see,
But you don't see.
they are really trying to understand how in the world did I do that?
Yeah. Now you hit on something. Mental health.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's broad, but
Hmm.
it is spiking unbelievably.
Hmm.
We did a session in our February meeting,
Hmm.
mental health.
Hmm.
Professional counselor came on.
Hmm.
We have 82 families
Hmm.
that I have email address for and that
Hmm.
type. Tell me why we only had 3 people to come on.
Oh, I can tell you why. Yeah, I can tell you why. Because you asked the question earlier about the same situation at Novant across the street, the
Mhm.
Michael Jordan Clinic that's across the street from North Druid Hills. The problem is there is a legacy of mistrust
Mhm.
in the medical profession,
Yeah.
and there is a stigmatization when it comes to mental health, right?
Yes. Yes.
The stigma is, and you heard it,
Mhm.
black folk, we don't talk about our issues.
There you go.
We just hold it. We do, and we have been conditioned to trust God, to pray about it, to give it, give it over to God. And we come to church, and I'm not knocking our worship styles,
Mhm.
right? We come to church and we shout it out and we give God glory, but that's not the same as dealing with depression,
There you go.
anxiety, post
Mhm.
traumatic stress
Mhm.
disorder,
Mhm.
uh, bipolar disorder,
Yes.
schizoaffective disorder. It's not the same, right?
Mhm.
It's not the same, right? And we just don't have confidence
Mhm.
that engaging mental health is going to help our our children or help us.
Yes,
I
sir.
I, I heard someone who is highly educated
Mhm.
say to me, and it's not a put down, this is real talk.
Yes, sir.
They fear engagement with mental health because they fear the pharmaceutical framing that occurs.
Yeah.
So if I go to mental health, they're just going to say, take this medication. And
Mm-hmm.
this person is, I mean, a leader in the community. I mean,
Mm.
really. And
Mm.
they're like, you know what, Dr. Matthews, I just tell you, you get scared to go because everything is taking a pill.
Mm-hmm.
And my take on that is not everything is, but some things is. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, some things are.
Mm-hmm.
Everything isn't taking a pill, but if you are not able to sleep, if your mind races constantly, if you are unable to concentrate, right? If your mood is unstable, yeah, you can pray, you can jog, you can do all of that, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that medication is going to help stabilize some things
Yes, sir. Yes,
to
sir.
help you work through some stuff. So
Mhm.
I think it's stigma.
Yeah.
And the way we deal with stigma is we have to see mental health engagement almost as a door to door knocking on the door. Hey, I'm so and so. Just want you to know if
Mhm.
you're looking for services, call this number. They can help you and walk away because maybe every now and then somebody would say, "Oh yeah, I need that," but we're not comfortable yet coming out
Mhm.
to a forum and talking about, yeah, you know what, I got mental health stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I talked too much.
No, no, no. No, and good. But the thing is, even going to the doctors, I
Mhm.
mean, I go for wellness tests
You
at
do,
at least 4 times a year.
you
Okay.
do.
Same thing
Yeah,
with my insurance.
yep.
They, I, I'm paying for it.
Hmm.
A life coach, and I have a psychiatrist.
Hmm.
They give me assignments and everything, and we talk.
Yes.
Okay, Tabor, what triggered this? What made you feel that way? What time of day was it? What
Hmm.
rid of the stress?
Hmm. Hmm.
We have insurance to do all that. We just have to take advantage. We have to trust somebody.
Yeah, we have to trust somebody, and that's where you come in.
Yeah.
That's where your other leaders in the North Druid Hills Neighborhood
Hmm.
Association comes
Hmm.
in.
Hmm.
That's where maybe pastor leaders at St. Luke come in.
Hmm.
Are we a trusted space?
Yeah.
Do we create a space
Hmm.
where people can feel validated and trusted
Hmm.
enough to say, hey, we need to talk, or could you help me deal with something, right?
Hmm.
It is truthful. And we just have and I don't want to get here, but it's the reality.
Yeah.
There's such a legacy around black body treatment that impacted black mental health,
Yeah.
that we come to this process and we're already at a deficit,
Hmm.
and we're trying to climb out of the hole. At the same time, the world is almost on fire or
Yeah.
it's moving so quick, and
Yeah.
now we're trying to hold it together and we feel overwhelmed, right? So,
So
yeah. So I'm sorry we have talked so long, Dr. Tabor.
this
This
is
is
good.
definitely
This
going
is
to be, yeah,
yeah.
this is going to have to be edited, and we're going to have this as a two-parter
Okay.
because there's so much there. But I want to close out again by just saying thank you, Dr. Tabor, for your gracious invitation to come. You have been a leader in the North Druid Hills Neighborhood Association. You have changed the trajectory of families and the community. We need to celebrate you
Bless you. Bless
because you are in at the stage where you do this because you want to,
you. Hmm.
um, and you can sit at your nice home and sit back and do nothing, and say, "I got mine," and you don't want to get yours, so bye bye.
Hmm.
But you're out there daily saying, "Hey, what can I do? How can I help? How can I be supportive?"
Hmm.
And we need more folk like you. So, Dr. Tabor, thank you for being an example of what being a good neighbor is all about.
Thank you. And let me just can make one announcement.
Of course you can. Yes.
March 23rd, we're hosting our semi-annual community-wide cleanup. We clean
Okay.
all 10 blocks. Okay.
Mhm.
And you allow us each time we'll meet at St. Luke,
Mm-hmm.
9 o'clock Saturday morning, March 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
And we divide it up in street captains. Uh, Someone will take the St. Luke area, the Moretz Avenue,
Mm-hmm.
all
Mm-hmm.
the way down to Atondo, and then all the way across to Graham Street. So we want all of the people in the neighborhood. Also, we have the Boy Scouts that maybe come and help us. That looks good because they
Mm-hmm.
do community service to
Mm.
earn their awards.
Yes.
We have a military association. We have a female bikers association,
Yeah, that's right.
and so we're trying to get all demographics involved,
Mm-hmm.
all different type of clubs involved. Also, it's a community engagement, and then
Mm-hmm.
we meet our new neighbors. We encourage them to come out and see who
Yeah.
lives next door to you.
Yeah. Yeah. And that is, Dr. Tabor, something that we haven't talked about. We ought to do a part three eventually. We can have this conversation because I do think that we need to have a conversation about not only how we are good neighbors,
Hmm. Hmm.
but how do we encourage a different demographic that's moved into our neighborhood
Hmm.
to come in with a sense of we are part of it, as opposed to standing off saying I'm not like them.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
don't know how we can answer that now, but that's part of what we have to get to eventually.
let me throw this out.
Yeah.
We have a large percentage of Hispanics in our community.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, one of our neighbors live next door to us. There's a language barrier. They're afraid to come out, but we tell them we
Mm-hmm.
have interpreters. I mean, if you need a person to come out and interpret, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
do that. We don't want that to be a barrier.
Mm-mm.
Part of the
Mm-mm.
neighborhood, we want you engaged.
Mm-hmm.
You can learn about your culture and you can learn about ours.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's really going to be important for us in the next years, the years to come,
Mhm.
that we really um, help huh, help preserve some of the historic qualities of Druid Hills, recognizing things have changed, but also to encourage those new folk that come in
Mhm.
to have a sense that they belong. Right? You're not you. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. Let me stop. I'm done. All right, Dr. Tabor, thank you so much, my brother,
Thank you for
for
having.
helping us be in the know, man. God loves you, and so do I. Thank you so much, and good day.
Good night. Have a good one.
Thank you, my friend.
All right. Bye.
Yeah.